Hey everyone, today I'm talking about The Gunslinger by Stephen King, book 1 in the Dark Tower series. Now I've only read this first book, so this review will be totally spoiler free and just about the Gunslinger itself. I'll go through what's it about, the kind of vibe it has, the characters, and my personal take on whether it works as a standalone story or if it's just a warm-up for the rest of the series. So a little background. The Gunslinger first came out in 1982, but Stephen King actually started writing it back in the 70s. It's inspired by an old poem called Child Roland to the Dark Tower Came. So that should already tell you this book is a little unusual. It's part western, part fantasy, part horror, and it's completely its own thing. It's also really short for a King novel, just over 200 pages. There's a revised edition from 2003 where King smoothed out the writing and made it fit better with later books. This is the version I read, so everything I'm talking about is based on that version. The setup is super simple. Roland Deschain is the last gunslinger, and he is chasing a guy called the Man in Black across a massive empty desert. And that's it, at least on paper. But along the way things get really strange. We get little flashes of Roland's past and weird encounters with people who might be from different times or places, and hints that this world is broken in some way. Sometimes it feels like the Old West, other times like something post-apocalyptic. King never sits you down and explains it. He just throws you in and lets you figure it out. This is the part that really hit me, the atmosphere. The Gunslinger is quiet and slow and almost dreamlike. You spend a lot of time just with Roland in the desert, and it feels lonely in a way that's hard to shake. The writing has this old story, almost biblical rhythm to it. It makes the book feel like it's been passed down through generations. But at the same time it's strange and off-kilter. I think this is why some people either love it or hate it. If you need clear explanations and lots of action, this might not be your thing. But if you're okay with mystery and mood taking the lead, it's got a really unique vibe. And then the characters. Roland is not your typical hero. He is calm, determined, and honestly kind of cold. We don't get told exactly why he's chasing the Man in Black, but we see that it's all he cares about. He's already sacrificed a lot to keep going, and you get a sense he'd sacrifice more if it meant getting closer to his goal. We don't spend a lot of time inside his head. Most of what we learn about him comes from flashbacks, or the way he reacts to things. And then there's the Man in Black. He's basically the mystery at the end of the road. We don't see much of him, but his presence is everywhere. He's always just ahead, and that's what keeps you turning pages. There aren't a lot of side characters, but one worth mentioning is Jake, a boy Roland meets partway through the book. And he brings some warmth into an otherwise very bleak story. His relationship with Roland gives the plot some real emotional stakes. Even though this is a chase story, it doesn't really rush. We get lots of detours into Roland's past, or weird little side events that almost feel like short stories inside the main plot. The book splits into 5 sections, and each one feels a bit different. Some parts have action, and some parts are mostly conversations, and some are just Roland walking through the desert. It's definitely not a straight line adventure. It's more like a wandering road trip through a very weird wasteland. King's writing here is different from a lot of his other books. It's more poetic, with vivid but sometimes surreal descriptions. Things aren't always clear, but they always feel right for the moment. It's the kind of writing where you might not understand exactly what something means, but the mood sticks with you. I enjoyed the Gunslinger, but I think it's important to know what you're getting into. This isn't a fast-paced epic or a big self-contained story. It's more like the opening chapter to something bigger, but a chapter that has a really strong personality. It left me with way more questions than answers, but I actually liked that. It made me curious about the world and the series overall. I'm definitely interested in seeing what happens next. So who is this book for? If you're looking for a straightforward fantasy or western with a clear plot, you might find it slow or confusing. But if you like strange atmospheric stories that drop you right into the mystery and let you figure things out as you go, I think it's worth a try. It's short enough that you can read it pretty quickly, and even if you decide not to continue the series, you still have experienced something pretty unique. So yeah, that's my take on the Gunslinger. If you read it, especially if you stopped after book 1, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did it hook you right away, or did it leave you unsure? Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time.